that's not chump change. No. And this is a good segue. The effects of socialism hitting a little closer to home in this year's presidential race, and one company is raising awareness through a game. Diogenes Games is putting a spin on the classic Monopoly in Socialism, the Game. The game is seeking $10,000 in pledges on Kickstarter. It's already raised about 1/3 of its goal. John Elliott is founder and CEO of Diogenes Games, and he joins me now. John, good to see you.
Great to be here.
So first of all, Monopoly is somewhat of a misnomer because socialism is really the ultimate monopoly, isn't it? It's not capitalism, it's socialism. You can't compete with the government.
That's right. The government is the first, last, and only real monopoly, isn't it?
Is that your point? I mean, do you start this more than just a business venture? Is something that you have a personal philosophy about?
You know what? This started with a bunch of us watching these candidates. It's absolutely crazy.
By the way, we see the two candidates on the cover there. Not to say anything about, although Bernie is an admitted socialist, Hillary, I guess, claims she isn't. But there in the background, by the way, you can see pictures of Michael Moore, Reggie Jackson, Al Sharpton, and others.
Yeah, so we're watching these candidates, and this is crazy. We're just listening to this socialist rhetoric, and a couple of us start talking, laughing, and joke after joke, and someone says, we need a socialist form of monopoly.
So how does it work?
Okay, so you take an existing monopoly game.
Okay.
You use it.
That's easy. And by the way, the makers of Monopoly are okay with this, right?
Well, this is a parody, and it's a satire, and you need to get a Monopoly game, right?
Okay.
You replace it with a progressive rule book.
The basics of which is what? Everybody's entitled to free money?
No. In the original Monopoly, you play to get the biggest pile of money. In socialism, you basically play until everyone has $300 and the government owns everything. So
your goal is to equalize everything instead of monopolize everything.
Equality and dependence.
But equalize means that everybody's poor.
Everyone's poor. And everyone just gets a participation award in the end.
Isn't that kind of the point of socialism? That, yes, everybody's equal, but they're equally poor. I mean, that's what Cuba's about. That's what Venezuela's about. That's what we have discovered now.
There's no competition. It's just a race to the bottom.
You know, it's funny because it's not funny, but in dealing with Venezuela, the richest oil, the most oil-rich country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia in terms of known reserves, and yet 70% of the population is now poor. That's what. So if it can happen in a place like Venezuela, wouldn't the same thing happen here?
Well, you know, that's one of the things that we recognize, and we're watching our kids, listening to the neighbors, saying, "Look, this is serious." There's some serious jokes to be made for sure, but this is serious, and this is a way that people can watch. Now, my 9-year-old loves Monopoly. We love to play Monopoly. He plays this, and he says, "Dad, this game is a killer wedgie."
John Elliott, we got it. I love it, a killer wedgie.
Yeah, I'm tired of running out of money.
Melissa, I throw it to you with the phrase.